When you have learned always go, go, go on the run. Oh my gosh, I would really like a box like that. What's up? I love my hair color. And my hair is looking more healthier than it did in July. Okay, what's up? So look at my posters, are so good. Um it's cloudy. I like it so much. But when you have learned to struggle and go, 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 go all the time, when you're about to step into your flow life or flow state, you're going to be tested by universe. Are you still going to flinch? Are you still going to try to control a situation, to control the things? Or are you going to, like flow, are you going to just let it, let it on God and have faith? Because and I'm not talking about like by passing things, right? I'm not talking like you need money, you could just meditate on it, right? I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about, when you're in the midst of big transitions, of changes, when you struggle sometimes, economically or physically or mentally or emotionally, but deep down that things are about to go well. That everything's going to work out, because everything is working out best case scenario. But there are these moments when you argue with your partner or your sibling or your friend, or your roommate, right? Like, let's talk about roommates, right? And you're like, what's going on? Like, you're talking about economical things, about this and that, and it may seem, or the other person may make it seem like everything is crumbling, and maybe everything is crumbling, but maybe that's not too bad. And maybe, there's a lot of scarcity and survival going on, but it's like, we cannot live our life trying to survive most of it, because like, survival is good, but living is, it's what we need to thrive for, is what we need, like, to do our best to live, not to survive. And I've been through so much stress and anxiety. I got an autoimmune disease, which is about, being anxious and just anxious to live, to exist, to just be, right? And for so long I did that, and it's like, I can no longer do that, and I understood that very well after my near-death experience that I had in Egypt back in April. But it's also at the same time the fact that, I've seen it, I've been in it. Like, it doesn't matter if you, like, if you get anxious. Like, just because you're anxious doesn't mean things, will work themselves out. Maybe you just push yourself, but that does not mean that just because you're stressed that does anything, right? And I'm not talking about like, because automatically when you're being stressed, is like when your body is telling you like something's not right, I don't feel safe, which I don't say like, fuck it, forget it, like, don't care what your body says. But all I'm saying is like, sometimes we put ourselves in so much anxiety and stress because we want to have a specific and certain life, and maybe in this moment we're not supposed to have the specific life for crazy achievement. Maybe what we really need to do is just chill, breathe, be right here, right now. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe what we need is to just, like, drink our coffee or our water or our tea, watch the clouds, the rain, the sun, pet our pets and eat like a homemade meal, and just, like, do the little things. Because life is not about achieving all the time. Because like, when you have to achieve, see, there's a difference between being creative, which I am creative, right? Like, I do things and sometimes I don't expect things to happen. Like, there's this one video of me on YouTube that I have for almost like 500 views, and that for me is crazy because I don't have friends right now in my life, and I don't have like big following in my new Instagram that I did very that I have for like some months, but I don't, you know, I post there but not regularly or anything. And it's like, I have some followers and I have some likes from here and there, but I don't care. I just post to just post because that's what I do. And I had so much views. I had so many views in my YouTube channel. Because for me, 500 are a lot, and 100 are a lot when you don't have like followers or anything. And it's crazy that I got so many views. And to me, that is big. That is enormous. That is crazy, right? But it's not like of course it would be great, if I had more, but it's like, I'm not going to go angry or anxious or stressed about this fact, because like, I don't care if I have people who just listen to me, they get something from my videos, they resonate with me, they like and F with my vibe, then that is enough. That is enough for me, like, for real, because that's my creative process. I like to do creative things, and what I realized, like, if you have to achieve all the time and go and go and go and go, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but if you have to go all the time, you're in survival mode. You do not live. Actually, you think you live in, and you think you're going to be happy when the next payment happens, and when this one thing happened and the other thing happened, when you meet this person or when you get to this goal, and it never stops, because you have to get to the other goal and the other goal and the other goal. I'm not saying that don't have goals, but all I'm saying is, if you base your happiness in achievements and goals, that means that you are not happy with yourself. You expect from everything else externally and outside of you that provides you with with happiness. And I mean, like, there is this oxytocin, right, that is also a really happy hormone that we release when we're a community with people, friends, pets, when we connect with others. And I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about when you have based your life on goals, achievements, and only then you'll be happy. And I realized that lately, because I also was like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to survive. And yes, of course, you need to survive, right? You need to get money for the basic things and needs. But at the same time, I realized, like, I do that most of my life. It's like, when I get the house, when I rent the house, when I'll be alone, when I have this decoration, when I have this money in my bank account, when I have this and that, and life sometimes, life is lifing, and life is happening, and it's like, oh, like, it wasn't about all that, and it wasn't about this and that, because that was a distraction. The other thing was a distraction, and and I put it so much into this, and now what, like, or you may be doing this one thing, and it's like, I don't feel nothing, because, like, it was about the journey of achieving this one thing. It was about how you put in the work, okay, instead of just everything. I'm there. It's always about the journey, truly 100%. But it's because you live for the moment you get to achieve this one thing. And when you achieve this one thing, it's like, I can no longer live for this one thing, because I have already achieved it, so I have to do another thing and another thing and another thing. And though creation is like that, because a lot of times things are meaningless, it's like, okay, everything is like, there's both spectrums. There's like, life is great, we can create and do this and do that, and we always can create, and that's a beautiful thing. And then the other point is, like, life is boring, because, like, it's so predictable sometimes, or like, there's certain things you can do, because, like, it's boring having a job, or it's boring, like, waking up every day and having a routine. Like, it's boring doing this and it's boring doing that, right? Like, And even if you change, you know, there's some things that are boring after a little while. Maybe, you know, they're both of the spectrums, and both of the spectrums are very respectful. Right here, all I'm saying is, I realized a lot of times in my life is like, I put a goal, I achieve that, and then it's like, what's life? What's life meaning, right? Maybe life meaning is creation, but at the same time, you know, creation is also about realizing how beautiful, you know, just creation is outside of you without trying to create anything. Just understanding creation, just understanding nature. Sometimes life is just chilling, you know, and you don't have to achieve this one thing, or just letting things happen, because the more you try to achieve something, the more sometimes you may have a delay, the more sometimes you may have an obstacle. And how I know, I'm Capricorn rising. I'm Saturn ruled. I know how it feels to have delays. I know how it feels when life throws you lemons and you're supposed to make lemonade. Well, you don't have to make lemonade, because that's also like this fake positivity of like, you know, do something with what you was given. Like, if you do not like lemonade, if you do not like lemonade or lemons, like, you don't have to make lemonade. Just throw them the fuck away or give them to someone else, right? Like, no. But all I'm trying to say is, to be here in this moment, to just be thankful and to know, to tap into your intuition without tapping so much into your fear-based mentality, is so difficult but so important, right? And I'm saying this because I went through a lot. Like in August, my body went through a lot, and you know, the stress level went so high, and I already have an autoimmune disease, you know, like I already have like an autoimmune ish. So it's like, I cannot do that to my body, and I had to put everything away that was stressing me, and that was mostly people, right? But even if with the situations that got fixed, what I realized is like, we put so much pressure on ourselves because we have certain things we need to do, certain achievements we have to do. And I was speaking with my sister 2 days before, and I realized like, she has set those crazy freaking standards for her life, and there's nothing wrong with just having high standards. There's nothing wrong with just wishing and wanting well and good for yourself and for your life. What is bad about it is the weight you put on your shoulders about that. When, you know, it's about the weight you the weight and the standards and all these things that you put on yourself, you know, and at times it's inhuman, you know, because like, you know, right now you don't have to get there, you don't have to be there, you just have to be here. And if you do not, you know, like, if you're not grateful for being here, if you're not grateful for just, you know, like where you are right now, even if it's messy, even if at times it doesn't feel good, even if at times it's not where you want to be, you know, at least it's somewhere, you know, at least you have somewhere, just sit. And that is a good thing. And I'm not trying to bypass things. It's like, the more I see it, the more I realize is that we get hurt by our own standards and goals. And sometimes what we need to do is to just be here right now. For right now, we need to be here. For right now, we need to sit in this uncomfortability. For right now, we need to sit in this transition and this change. For right now, we're now meant to do it. You know, the other way we thought, right? For right now, we're here, you know, and we can always create something good out of every situation, out of everywhere, and out of every single thing. It's just like, do we choose to do that though? You know, because like, it's a choice. You know, we're here. What can we do here? Can we just enjoy that we have food on our plates? Can we just enjoy the sun that is free? Can we just enjoy each other's company? Can we just enjoy that we have a pet that we love? Like, can we enjoy that we're still trying, we're still alive, we're still breathing, and we're still trying to make our dreams, like, because that's important and that's enough sometimes, you know, like, And now I get it. The more I get older, I realize what we say, you know, trying, it's enough, you know. Sometimes trying it's enough, because to try is to be alive. To try is to have ambition and resilience and following your dreams. That is trying. Trying is important, because trying is showing universe and God that, hey, you know, even though I'm not there, you know, I can be happy where I am, but you know, I can do better. I can create something better. And, you know, as I'm talking about it, you see there's a little bit more sun in my face maybe. But as I'm speaking about it, feeling chill and happy. And I know everything's going to work out. And I had like a really hectic conversation today, or argument, should I say, with my sister. But you know what I realized, like, you know, some people may fear so much, and they haven't, you know, like, done their inner work to just believe and listen to their intuition. Because I said, like, we're just so programmed to listen to our fear-based mindset all the time, to be in survival, that we have forgotten how to hear our intuition, right? But it's like, when I listen to my intuition, when I ask my intuition, are things going to go right? Things are going to go right. And how am I able to say that? Because like in August, I thought I wouldn't make it, but here I am, filming myself. And I thought that I couldn't stay alone while my sister is at work, but here I am, filming myself. You know, I believe it's about what you believe, where your beliefs are. Because like, it's really like, you know, God said, like, believe it, and do not try to, like, search why. Do not try to, you know, like, be logical about it. You know, that's basically what he said. And it's like, you know, it's really about that. Like, if you believe something, just believe it. You know, if you believe something will happen, just believe it. You don't have to base it on logical things. Like, you don't have to say, but why? There's no why. There's no why that happened, why this happened. There's only just life. You know, it just happened. There's only belief. There's only the fact that you were crazy enough to believe in it. You were crazy enough to see it. You were crazy enough to imagine it and envision it. You know, sometimes life is that simple. Because you remember when you were a child? When you were a child, you were imaginative. You were delusional, as a lot of people will say. But when I was a kid, a lot of things were happening so easily for me. Not only because I was a kid, so like, you know, our energy is clear, and we don't have the same karma that we carry when we were children, but because I was believing in something, and I didn't have like my logical brain stopping me from believing in it. I didn't have my logical brain, you know, telling me and showing me and guiding me and saying, no, that's not true, and don't listen to that, and about how we're going to do the A, B, C, and D. Because, you know, faith and belief sometimes is believing that things are going to work out for you no matter what, and you don't need evidence. But even if you needed evidence, in my case, all the things and times that I've ever said that I don't know if I'm going to make it, or, you know, and you know, there were like a lot of situations which I didn't thought I could make it. Here I am. I made it through, and sometimes even better than I thought. So it's like, there's evidence that things go good, you know, things go all right. That at the end of the day, everything is working out. Best case scenario is that when I'm stepping out of my intuition, and when I'm hearing everybody else's voices, then I get to believe their beliefs. But it's all about believing your voice and hearing your voice. Because, you know, yes, my sister may be scared. Yes, my sister may be this. Yes, my sister may be that. But it's like, that's not my job. That's her feeling. That's her shit. But I don't have to listen to what she says or what she believes. All I have to hear is what I believe, what I feel. And I feel everything is going to be great and all right. And I don't have to worry so much. Because, like, worry about what? Everything is going to work out for me. I don't have to worry about anything. Because I'm alive, I'm here, and I'm filming a video. And I am blessed that I got to be here. I am blessed that I am here. I am blessed that I got to breathe today. I'm blessed that I got to eat today. I'm blessed that I got to see the sun and the clouds. I'm blessed that I'm just filming right now. I'm blessed that I have my pet sitting right beside me. I'm blessed that my body still functions to keep me alive. I am blessed. Those are the little things, but those are the important things that life and society a lot of times, like this way that we live, this how to say this, girl, this masculine, but also like this whole capitalistic way that we live, right, teach us that we need to run and we need to chase the dreams and the goals and the achievements. But what I realized is, like, when we sit down, that's the biggest blessing. When you just sit down and you don't feel guilty about it, when you sit down you don't feel shame about it, when you just are yourself, you don't have to label yourself, you don't have to point any, you don't have to prove anything, you just you, and you just are. That's a state, a mental state, and a state of being that a lot of people cannot tap into. That is a state of being that you can pay hundreds of dollars and still not have, because like it needs a lot of work. But what I realized is, like, I had so much problem with being nothing all those years that lately, those months, it's like I like being nothing. You know what? Because nothing doesn't have to prove anything. Nothing doesn't have to work. Doesn't, nothing doesn't have to prove a point or prove this or prove that. Nothing just is. It's nothing. That's great. All these years I said I'm nothing and I mean nothing to people, and now I'm like, nothing is freedom. Being nothing is freedom. Not needing to put yourself in titles and labels, it's freedom. Nothing is freedom, because nothing is all about saying, I don't care if I'm no one. I don't care about my ego sometimes. That's like the little moment that you get to understand that it's okay. It's okay. Everything is okay. It's okay if you're not this, and it's okay if you're not that. It's okay if things don't work out this way and the other way. And nothing basically is also surrendering. It's also like, whatever. This person don't like me. I'm not there where I want to be. Not even close, or not even in the half. Things hasn't worked out the way I thought or I wanted. So what? And I feel like shit. It's human to feel like shit, and it's like, it's life. That's lifing. Like, there's no other way. I can see that, and it's like, you know what? Life is good. Just because it's messy, messy. Not in the way that it's toxic, but in the way that nature can be messy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a beautiful messy, right? Like, you see a rain and a storm and everything gets so messy, but that's beautiful. In my opinion, it's beautiful. I love rain, I love storms, and I love crazy shit like that. Even when earthquake is happening, which is really, really messy and chaotic, it's for a reason, that we as human may not understand, but ours understands, and nature understands, because nature is always, going to try to balance things, and put harmony into everything. So let's pop into it. So I guess that's what I wanted to say, since I came here, is that, just being in the state of being, if you don't have to prove anything, you're nothing, and that's okay, because nothing isn't like a curse or nothing that can break your spirit. Is the biggest state of being. It's being unbothered. It's being unbothered and being yourself. Because when you know who you are, you don't have to prove anything. When you know who you are, you don't need a label. You don't need a title. You just are. You don't care what people are going to say. You don't care, how they're going to treat and act. Because, like, you know what you're going to do. You know what you deserve. You know where your values are. And you know what what to do. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's what I wanted to say. Just being is the greatest state of being. And do not let anyone fool you. Do not let anyone fool you thinking you have to be a millionaire or a rich people or a rich person to live a life. I have met rich people. I have met rich people, and I've seen, and a lot of money came to in my hands around 2022 and 2023. And I've seen what happens when you get a lot of money, or people getting a lot of money, and it's not what you think it is. A lot of times it's not what you think it is, because that's where a lot of things are coming up to the surface. A lot of survival modes, a lot of survival things. That's when, like, I became ill when I felt more safe, because that was the time where my body felt safe to actually start chilling. Like, a lot of things came up with that one thing. So it's not what you think all the time. And I've seen rich people being the most unhealthy. I've seen rich people not being happy with their money. I've seen that. I've seen how miserable, because like, misery not only loves company, but like, it's not about the money. If you hate your life, it's not about the money. Money cannot fix things. Money is a tool, okay? It can help things out, but it's not God, and it's not you, right? Do not give it so much power. Money is just a beautiful, great tool that we don't have to demonize, but also we don't have to put it in like it's God or anything, right? Like it's a master. But money is not going to solve how you feel about yourself. It's not going to solve the generational trauma. It's not going to solve, generational diseases or anything that is being passed down from anything that's been passed down from your lineage. Like, money cannot do that for you. Money cannot do the somatic work for you, but it can help you, find great people who can help you with that, But it's all at the end of the day about you, about what you choose to do, with your money, with your time, with the help and the advices and the support that you're given. It's all about you at the end of the day, like, it's really that simple, And sometimes, money is a tricky thing, because, like, you have it now, but then you don't. Because, like, it's all about flow. Money reminds us to flow, Don't try to get so stuck. Don't be so stagnated, like, because money is flow. Because maybe you have it now, maybe then you won't. Maybe this month was better than the other, You had more income than the other. So it is a little bit like that. And I grew up, like, in my family, we, like, if you see, people are just so crazy to just put money in the side and to just not to invest, but like to keep money, right? But there's there's this maniac around, like, yes, keeping money and like saving and all that, but there wasn't no maniac around, like, but what would we do with this money? Like, why are we even saving? Why were we keeping money? Like, because, like, yes, it's good to have something if you need it, if for an emergency, but to live your life, You know, like saving for the emergency and not actually living, that's shitty. And when I got a lot of money, a lot of people were like, what are you gonna do? Like, save that and work and do that. And it's like, I don't care what you say or where you believe. I'm going to do what I have to do. And it's about, you know, like, it's the fear-based mindset. Like, when you have money, you have to keep it, because but money is flow. No matter how much, if you keep it, if you have to spend it, you have to spend it. If you have to live, or if you want to live a luxurious life, or like a big life with trips and this and that, like, you cannot think like that, because life is short, and life is about being lived, not about waiting for the right moment, waiting, you know, waiting for this and that and the other thing. Life is now, right here, right now. Like, live it on the now. But I'm not saying, like, do not save and do not, you know, like, take care of yourself for emergencies or whatever. All I'm just saying is, like, live. Life is to be lived, not something to worry about. Life is not something that you always have to chase, or I don't know, like, save in case of an emergency or whatever. Like, life is right here, right now. Live it. Be present. That's what we're missing, being present in our bodies in this life. But that's what we really need, to be present. That's what I want to say. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day, evening, or night.